Welcome home, Red Pack Marcus here, and welcome to Comfort Cartoons. And today we are going into the flea market. I cannot wait. You guys are seeing me walk in right now. This was this weekend, and you guys can see the clouds, the dust in the air, and that has been what California's been like for the last 2 weeks here. So I have not really had any time to go to the flea market that wasn't raining. It's like conveniently rained on all the days that I go flea market hunting, and I hate it so much because it's one of my favorite things in the world to do. I look forward to it every single week. So the fact that it was raining, how dare you, California, rain 5% of the year. God, I hate that 5%. Be gone! But yes, we are going in there, guys, and we had an amazing hunt. I will be, of course, talking you guys through the hunt here. I was locked in, so I'll kind of commentate over things as we go. Plus, we picked up an absolute game changer to the collection. Probably one of the rarest Nickelodeon items out there when it comes to electronics. So anyway, you guys can see us walking up here. Let's go ahead and stop at our first booth and see if we grabbed anything. Okay, so we pulled up to the first booth here, and you can see, it's actually kind of crowded for how early this is. I think everybody was just excited to get back out here, and I did not talk as much this day. I was really locked in. I grabbed this Smurf here. I don't even know who that is. I grabbed this awesome Daffy Duck magnets, I think. That one was a magnet too, but I didn't really like that one as much, so I grabbed this one. It's based off the Looney Tunes stamp collection that they had back in like the 2000s, late 90s, I think. So we grabbed those two. Looked in here and I found some books, and I also noticed they had a lot of these golden books that I grew up with. We got Donald Duck's Christmas, we got Little Mermaid, and I also noticed they had some Dr. Seuss books in there, and I have to learn the Dr. Seuss books that are good because there are some canceled Dr. Seuss books that were cut for one reason or another, and I just was talking about that, and one of my friends there at the flea market came over and he was like, yeah, I actually know which ones they are, but I don't know like off the top of my head, but like if I see them I would remember them. And he named them, but we didn't see any of the ones that were canceled, so we're gonna pop up some images on screen of some of the Dr. Seuss books that have been canceled because of the culture changes, things that were okay to say back then aren't as okay to say nowadays, obviously. So those ones are halted in production. I also gotta say, I love the Coca-Cola sign back here. I did not actually grab that, obviously, but man, what a cool sign. All the Coca-Cola memorabilia there. So he wanted $5 for the Smurf and also the magnet. The Smurf, that was like, I probably shouldn't have grabbed it. You guys know me. Beginning of the day, Marcus makes his worst purchases, okay? The Smurf is worth like nothing. And then the stamp magnet, that one, I actually am just gonna bring my Whatnot stream. We have a lot of Looney Tunes fans over there. Some fun stuff like that I just like to bring to the shows. So how much it goes for on eBay is not really as important as much as, something fun. Whereas the Smurf, I don't even know if anybody knows who that Smurf is really, so probably wasn't the best pickup. But continuing onward here, we saw some of the boys over at Pixel Game Squad. Saw the oldest Winnie the Pooh. Like that is Christopher Robin's Winnie the Pooh right there. Like that is original freaking Winnie the Pooh right there. So we said what's up to Riff and them, and he was showing me some of the stuff that they had found.
How you doing, man? Look at that sweatshirt.
This one's cool. It's Entertainment Tonight. Look at the tag.
Oh, that's sick.
The Jacksons, Chevy Chase.
Oh, those some bangers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we moved on from that. We went over to the next booth, which you guys know very well. His name is Dusty, and we actually did pick something up from him that is off camera. So I will share that with you guys in a little bit here. Once we get to his booth, we'll take a look at what he's got, and I'll show you what I did actually pick up from him because my camera was not recording during that time. I came back later, and then we had made the deal for it, but I still want to share it with you guys because I didn't know at the time that he had that until later on. I saw him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I have something for you." But anyway, so he at his booth. Oh man, it was not my day, but boy, if you're an action figure person, like you're into like the superhero stuff like that, today was your day. I mean, they had unbelievable amounts of box action figures. You can see we have a Justice League Unlimited set here. That was about as close as it comes to the stuff that I collect and I like sell usually. So like I didn't really have a ton of interest in it. That is from the Cartoon Network Justice League, so I was very tempted, but honestly, just the whole box of the way that it looked, Dusty was trying to charge, you know, I think like 40, 50 bucks, which isn't bad, but the figures in there were only worth like $10 each anyway. So there wasn't a whole lot of room on it for me. But like I said, man, if it would have been like all inbox Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, like stuff like that, you know, we would have just grabbed stuff regardless of, you know, how much margin there was as much. But, you know, I know somebody here had a big day. I know 2 friends personally that had literally carts filled. This whole little container here was filled with Iron Man, you know, figures here. Like all of them were the same Iron Man, but that's for like the original Iron Man movie. Like whoever's storage locker this is, they were a big superhero fan because there was a ton of it. But unfortunately, like I said, that's not really what I dabble in that much. I looked up some items to see if it was worth it. And it really, like, you know, it's one of those things. There was so much stuff that, like, unless you know what you're looking for, you know, you spend a lot of time scanning stuff and it not be worth it. You have to kind of have, like, you know, how I am about certain things like plush and other things where I can kind of identify them relatively quickly and grab those things out. But we were talking to my friend Victor here and also Tommy, and you can see Tommy over here hands me this bag. You guys know Tommy, he's been in many videos before, but he actually is doing like storage lockers and stuff like that now too himself. So he picked up a bag of stuff that he got off one of the units that he went through that he thought I might be interested in. I bought it off of him, so you can kind of see that go down, me looking through it and also make the deal with him.
Let's see here. Everything's coming out right now, so we gotta move quick. Who the hell is this? The meanies. That's actually pretty sweet looking though. And then we got a bunch of like the McDonald's toys. Let's see, got some more of these guys down here. How much were you thinking for the bag, man? Would you do 40 bucks? 50? Let's see. Can we meet at 45? All right, appreciate it, man. So shout out to Tommy. We'll check out all that stuff when we get back to the cavern. I mean, if I end up going through it and make a killing, then I'll just give him the 50, to be honest. I just don't know for sure off the top of my head. Let's see here. What the frick? This is freaking rad. It's missing the core, but you can get another one of those. That's sweet. Thank you.
So that is huge. Those like CDs, like vintage CD players, Y2K ones, are getting so expensive. Like I don't really know what it is. I think it's just because vinyl became popular again, CDs are becoming popular again, and people are starting, like, it's starting to become more of an online trend to kind of disconnect, ironically an online trend, but disconnecting from the internet a little bit, and, you know, maybe not streaming your music, but actually listening to it on like a CD player. So a lot of the CD players can be like 50, 60, $100. And that's the case for this CD player here. It goes for about 80 bucks. And I do not have that one in the collection, so that's going to stay in my personal collection. Very cool piece though. And big shout out to her and her boyfriend again, because they literally helped me out so much. They mostly look for like kids clothes and stuff like that. And I try my best, but I just, like, I'm not very good at looking at kids stuff, like, or clothes in general. You guys have seen me at the thrift stores. Like, I just can't do it. Like, I just can't, like, get into it. So I never really see the stuff that they're looking for. So I'm never quite able to help them out as much as they help me. And I appreciate them so much for being so sweet to me. They're always like handing me stuff, sending me pictures of stuff. They're just super cool people. And like I said, they watch the show, so you couldn't get any cooler than that, right? I mean, you watch the show, you're pretty cool, huh? Okay.
Why do I kind of want this like old school style MP3 player? If it's cheap, I might just get this one too.
Okay, so let's take a nice, sorry, let me turn this on real quick, make sure it works.
Big guy, SpongeBob, big guy, pants on kids.
Sorry. But love it or hate it, you can't get it out of your head, can you? You're gonna have, I promise, if you have that song stuck in your head a little bit after this, be honest, leave it in the comments down below. Very cool CD player. We're gonna start with this, get a nice little slash out of this, because this guy goes for about 80 bucks easy. Light work, the CD player on it. I mean, I have to assume that it works. I mean, it looks like it was very, very barely used. And it's crazy that it goes for this much, because there is bigger and I think actually better SpongeBob CD players that go for less than that, like about, but maybe those have gone up too. So this one sold most recently for 80. You can buy a new cord for this for like $5 on Amazon, which is likely what I might do it. I have another SpongeBob CD player. I mostly just want it for the displayability and stuff, but I mean, eventually if I ever want to, I could just buy that cord. So 70 bucks. I put this price on screen. We also got this magnet. Again, I don't even think I price checked this one. We're just gonna add it on as $5. That's probably what I would get for it on my stream, even though it's, you know, it's vintage 1999. That'll pay for the Smurf. And the Smurf, I just, honestly, I just gave the Smurf away. The Smurf was worth like nothing. But we got this guy, boom. We got the MP3 player. These go for about 20, 25 bucks. So in Tommy's mystery bag, I do have to share this with you guys. You guys didn't see the stuff on screen really. We got these two right here, which are these vintage Pokemon figures. We got Jigglypuff there as well as Togepi. I did clean them. They were not this clean originally. And yes, these guys are really cute. Separately, they sell for like 10 bucks each, but together they've sold for 40. So I don't know. We're just going to go with the 30 for right now. Very, very cute figures. Inside of there is also these things called meanies. They're from the 90s as well too, during like the, you know, the era of like Beanie Babies. Everybody was trying to get into like the Beanie plush game. So we have a few of those here. We'll just go ahead and say 5 bucks each for those. Some of them do sell for like $10 to $15, but we're just gonna go ahead and say $5 each on them. We have this one, which I'm pretty sure Tommy thought this was Cat Dog. We have this one here. We have this guy right here as well too, another one. So we have like, I don't know, 4 of those guys. This is from a series in Japan called Sylvia and Sylvester, and these little plushies go for like 20 bucks too. And you're not even gonna expect what item here ends up being the most valuable. We have this Pikachu little coin purse here that needs to be cleaned, so we're gonna give that one like, I don't know, no value just because they haven't cleaned it yet. This little Pikachu Japanese cake topper. We have this Thomas the Train Engine, this vibrating Pikachu. Pull his little tail here, and this actually shakes like so freaking much, like it actually makes your hands tickle. SpongeBob is big vibing here. Like if I don't hold him secure, like look at that. The guy's having a freaking aneurysm. Like he's insane. But the big value here is actually these. So these are Wallace and Gromit figures, and we have a few of the characters. We've got Wallace, of course, and Gromit. Sorry, I said Gromit, didn't I? Gromit, and then this guy, which I actually don't really remember his name, and then also this. And these figures can go from like $10 to $20 depending on the characters. I think just these figures here is about $40 in value right there. So everything else is pretty much just a bonus. We also have these transforming alien figures here. These as a set used go for about 30 to 40 bucks too. They are essentially like they all transform into their own little, like, I guess, like, I don't even know what to call them. I guess there's like these little, I think they're all like pieces of like the claw machine, because this one's like the bottom of his legs come out and they become like a claw right here. It looks like kind of. They all do something different, but nonetheless, they seem to be semi-rare, like the figures themselves. So those are cool. We got these 2 little Pikachus here. We'll count those as no value. This Burger King Mewtwo here, no value. And then this little like freaking Lost in Space ship that I could not find anything of online. So we'll be forced to say no value on that too. So I mean, I think we probably have maybe about, like, if we're stretching it, this is not including shipping fees, all that stuff, probably about $100, maybe $110 of value here. So after shipping and fees, we should be maybe around like, I don't know, like 80 bucks, something like that. So, you know, I was able to double up on it. Tommy got some quick cash. Ends up working up for everybody here. And honestly, Tommy is the homie, man. So like if I would have found something like insane, I probably would have threw him a few extra bucks too. But you know, I wouldn't do that for the average person, but for like the big homies, you know. So shout out to Tommy, appreciate him. So that was the mystery bag. Oh, and then we also got this too. So another bonus 20 bucks is also in Tommy's bag. This is the Simpsons, the Homer Simpson animated doll. It is not brand new. It looks like it because it's in the box, but it's actually used. He goes for about 20 bucks used as well too. So a really good value overall. Big shout out to Tommy for the hookup. And then we also got those plates here, and we'll pop some prices on screen for comparable stuff. We got a ton of these plates, and then we also got the MP3 player, which, like I said, I am genuinely I'm thinking about just downloading a bunch of like heavy metal and just like post-hardcore and heavy metal music and just putting it on this pink MP3 player. I think it would be the funniest, best thing ever. It holds up to 500 songs. Why not? See that big treadmill, man? I wouldn't even want to move a treadmill once. And some of these people have to do it multiple times a week, you know, at these flea markets. So big shout to these people, man, sometimes. This people over here, they had this Care Bear. I decided to grab this one. I looked at the shirts because I was like, I don't know. I was just like, you know, sometimes if it's a place where like they're organized and like I feel like a lot of people maybe haven't looked through them, I will look at the clothes. But, you know, I often don't see much. So that's why I just like, eh. But I grabbed this Care Bear from 2004. They wanted, I think, 12 bucks for it. I offered them 10, and they were like, yeah, sure. I don't think it was my best buy ever, you know, but I do have a lot of good luck on Care Bears typically, so I usually pick them up. And plus, they were super sweet, so I'm glad that I got it. All right, so made it through that side, and we are over here again, and I saw this little boxes here that were filled with plush, and, you know, I see plush, I go look. So I saw these two Alpha Moo like cats, and they're like basically free money, so I just grab them when I see them. He wanted like 2 for $5 in the plushies, so I just grabbed them. I also realized there's 2 jelly cats there that I didn't grab. There's 2 jelly cats right there, but we grabbed the Alpha Moo. Those guys probably go for like 20 bucks each. He wanted $5 for both of them, so yeah, obviously I'm gonna grab that. I cannot believe, you guys can go back in the video right now, there's literally 2 jelly cats that were right there in the freaking bin. But jelly cats just look so much like just general plush that like, sometimes they slip by you, but like in hindsight now, I really should have just looked deeper. Wait a minute, did I grow? Wait, I went back! I went back! I forgot that I went back. Okay, I went back. I have one in my hand. There's one more in there. You got it. Yes. I'm so proud of him. I did not think that we would have got that, to be honest with you. Okay, that's awesome. So we got the other jelly cats too for $5. Heck yeah, man. Shout out to earlier Marcus. Okay, I'm like gonna put this up here because I'm pretty sure I have a possessed paddy wagon. Like, I am not on screen here. Like, this is going off. In the background, there is this paddy wagon that just keeps moving. And I'm gonna put it here because if it moves without anybody touching it, I want you guys to see it, because as of right now, it's my imagination. So I'm gonna put it right here. And if it moves, then we'll know. If it doesn't, then you know, then I guess I'm crazy. I'm insane to be committed. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so keeping it moving here, I saw this big bang energy like container here. Not my thing, but man, it would be kind of cool to find like a Coke Zero version of one of those one day. I don't know if I'd even need it or have the space for it, but it'd be cool to see. Coming over to this booth over here, I believe this guy's booth, his name is Dennis, so he typically has some good stuff. I mean, we got a lot of stuff over there before. That's where we got all those Tsum Tsums a while back. Had this crazy like 3D artwork here somebody did. It's like acrylic panels, like 3 layers of it, all made into one artwork. And then I kind of had to sneak in here though. There was a lot of Sanrio stuff, but you know, it wasn't cheaply priced, and it really, none of it seemed like it stood out to me. There, you know, I feel like with Sanrio stuff, there's so much of it, you gotta grab the stuff that's really like truly unique, you know, and really, you know, stands out amongst all that merch. So I didn't see anything there, and plus the backpack that I saw also seemed to be unofficial, so I left that as well. But what I did grab was over here, and is this Dance Dance Revolution on the Wii. It is brand new sealed. They've had that there for like maybe a month now. They originally wanted, I think, like 40 bucks for it. Now they went to 30. I was like hoping they were gonna say 20 because it's worth about $50. So I was like, if I can get it for 20 bucks, you know, that's worth it. I could, you know, make like 15 bucks on it or something like that. So I was like, all right, I'll try it for 20, and if they can let it go, then good. If not, then it's all right. But thankfully, you know, eventually he ended up taking the 20 bucks for it, so I grabbed that one. He also wanted me to grab this Jurassic Park like vehicle, but yeah, again, also really wasn't all that worth it. But the Dance Dance Revolution, I'm glad I grabbed it. I'm not very good at Dance Dance Revolution, but I can dream. Okay, so I ended up back at this booth over here. You kind of have to do this at the beginning sometimes because some people are still opening up when you first see them. So I came back to make sure I didn't miss anything. He had brought out a few more kids books, so I went through these and we found some bangers actually. I swear this was moving off camera. I swear that it was moving, and now that I put it over here, it's not gonna move. That's how things work, you know? That's why nobody ever gets good footage of Bigfoot, because as soon as you take out your camera, all of a sudden Bigfoot doesn't want to be there. Okay, show the bangers, Ryan. So we grabbed a ton of Nickelodeon books here. There was a few different SpongeBob ones, about 3 different Rugrats ones. So I grabbed all those, and they wanted them for $1 a piece. So, you know, heck yeah. Glad that I ended up grabbing those.
Okay, we got the Nemo's, the Build-A-Bear one. I think for $5 it's definitely worth it. He's really cute too. It doesn't look like he has like a heartbeat in there or anything like that special, but still. I always have a soft spot for Nemo. I end up picking them up a lot of times, even though they're not really worth a ton. I just like them, so I end up grabbing them.
Okay, so I went back to check out Dusty's booth to see what was going on over there, and I saw my friend Blake with a huge stack of action figures. You can see some of the stuff he picked up here.
That's awesome. He's got a little freaking tower here. I was like, somebody's gonna like that needs this type of stuff is gonna make a freaking killing. It's good. It's a good day for you guys. So the type of stuff you guys are looking for too.
Okay, and then we ran into our friend Chris here as well too. He owns a store here called Retro Games Plus. So we talked for a brief moment there.
I saw your post, man. You got the Imagineer thing and the signs.
Yep. Yeah.
I get a discount.
I paid over
Well, I'm not going to show exactly how much I paid and what it is exactly because that is a video coming up. I wanted to keep this clip in there to kind of give you guys a little bit of like, I guess, a clue. I met Chris at an estate sale that I went to that was a estate sale for somebody who was an Imagineer at Disneyland, and they had some incredible stuff in their collection that was being all sold off in this estate sale. So we were talking about that briefly here, but that video will be coming up very, very soon, and there is something incredible that we ended up picking up at this estate sale. So stay tuned for that. If you're following me on Instagram, you already know what it is. I know I wasn't active on Instagram for like 2 years, so I don't blame you, but go check it out. Sometimes I post stories. Just go take a look. You never know. Just follow. If I don't post, it doesn't bother your feed anyway. But if I do, then you see it. All right, and then over here we almost got attacked by an umbrella. Shout out to these two. You seen it. You saw it. My reflex was to like catch it, but you saw it move. I hope it didn't look like my arm hit it because I was trying to catch it, but it's moving. Okay. You see this? You see what I'm dealing with here? That was for sure it moved. You saw it move by itself. Like, it's off. Like, it's off. Like, I don't even know why it's like doing this. I'm just gonna put it upside down over here. My point has been proven though. It moves by itself. Anyway, let's play forward. We get to see awesome couple here. They watch the show as well too. Super, super cool. Super sweet, both of them. And I also almost got attacked by an umbrella. They've been trying to tell me to get Karina to come to the flea market, but she doesn't want to get up that early, and I totally get it. But we talked about that briefly though, and I thought it was just a really cute conversation, so I wanted to add it for you guys.
Some people just aren't morning people, you know?
Yeah.
She's a night owl. Tell her, because she always is like looking at, she goes to the thrift stores and looking for like old clothes and stuff. I'm like, go to the flea market. Like, there's so much good stuff.
Exactly. There's 3 ladies. If you see them through here, you see them every week, and they've got
Tons of stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
One day she'll learn.
Yeah. No, good luck.
Good luck with you guys as well.
Okay, so then moving on now, I spotted something over here, and this also led to a deal that was life-changing for the cavern, something huge that I've been wanting to get for the cavern for so long. So I spotted this from a distance. This guy's name is Brian. Shout out to Brian. Not the guy on the right, the guy on the left here with the hat. And he's got this Lisa Frank like vintage stationery kit here. I ended up picking this up off of him. I think it goes for about like 80 bucks. He wanted $30 for it, so I decided just to jump on it because it's around Christmas time. We're selling stuff like crazy. I'm just trying to keep stuff in our shop, so I grabbed this. But he also gave me a little heads up on something that he has that I'm gonna have to pick up from him. I'm not picking it up in this video, but in the following day. But I did record that, and we'll add it into the video for you guys.
Do you have any Nickelodeon stuff that you're gonna be unpacking?
So I have it's basically new in the box. The box is beat up. I have a Dora the Explorer TV.
That's sick.
SpongeBob ones on
yeah.
Okay.
So if you hold it for me, and then sold.
Okay, so you guys heard that there. He has a brand spanking new Dora the Explorer TV, and there are only 2 Nickelodeon TVs. So Emerson, back in the day, you guys know, or you may know, that Emerson did children's TVs for like bedrooms and stuff that were based off, they were licensed essentially. I don't know if there's a lot of brands that did this. There's a couple of them, but Emerson was definitely the big one. I don't know why they don't do that today. I think that licensed TVs would go crazy. I think that'd be so sick. But anyway, they did a few different ones. They did Shrek, you know, they had Batman, they had Winnie the Pooh. One of the more famous ones is probably the Disney Princess and the Mickey Mouse one. But here's a few up on screen. There's some that I'm like are dream TVs for me, and one of them was the SpongeBob one, and we have the DVD player version here in the cavern. I also have the regular just TV by itself as well too. And also, side note, one that I'm pretty sure was never made here in the US, but there's a Ben 10 one. Yeah, like that's incredible. Like that, yes, I want that. But I don't think I would ever find that at the flea market, because like I said, I'm pretty sure that was never made here in the US and was made in very small amounts some other country. But anyway, the only 2 Nickelodeon ones is the SpongeBob one and the Dora one. And I'm fortunate enough to have the SpongeBob one, and I've wanted the Dora one for so long, but every time you find the Dora one, it has stickers all over it. I think because it's got the red finish on it rather than the yellow that the SpongeBob one is, it's more susceptible to sun damage. So like a lot of times people had it in their rooms, maybe by a window, and it has like a sun bleaching on it a lot of times. The remotes are missing, there's gunk in the buttons. It was for kids, you know, so it's really tough to find them in good shape. So when he said he had one brand new, I would be the first person using it. I had to jump on it, so now we would have both of the only 2 Nickelodeon TVs that they ever made, which is so sick to finally be able to check off. So here's a clip of me actually picking it up from him on the following day.
All right, so we are here. It's the next day. Shout out to my man Brian here. We got the TV. We can just go ahead and drop it down right now. Let's see, take a look. So it's open, you said, right? Yeah. So there we go, man. That is crispy. The remote in there. Dude, whenever you find these things, they're always like sun bleached. They have stickers all over them.
Oh, yeah. It's used, you know, kid used.
Yep, the greasy fingers. That is awesome. You can see on the front here. Do you speak Spanish? Mm-hmm. What does it say here on the front? I don't even know, but it's... Oh, actually, it has to translate, catch the stars. That's really cool. So I've been wanting one of these for a long time. I have the DVD player. You guys know me, when it comes to Dora stuff, I'm super specific, but this is one of those things that, like, you know, you're not gonna find it every day, and at 200 bucks, dude, that's a heck of a deal. All right, so I will take it, man. Thank you again. All right, so we're gonna load this guy up. I'm gonna send him the money, and then we're gonna go back to the cavern. We'll check out everything else we got in the haul, as well as this guy as well, too. I don't know where we're gonna put it, but I'm just glad we got it.
Okay, so we moved on from the Dora, the Explorer TV. We went to another booth, and he actually had a doll for Cheech and Chong, which was like so random, but it was a NECA doll, and they actually were pretty pricey. He wanted $50 for it, but I ended up picking it up for $30. But I was talking to him briefly about how it was last weekend when I tried to come to the flea market. It was storming. I mean, it was like as if the faucet was on over California. It was just pure water. There was no space in between the drops. And I mentioned it to him to see if he was here last week. Maybe he still showed up, and his response was just funny to me.
Super bad, the rain. Did you come last week?
Yes.
Yeah?
A lot of work.
Yeah. Did it get a little bit like better?
There was a lot of water. That's true. I'm surprised that anybody showed up, but he said after like 7 o'clock it got a little better, so maybe I probably should have come a little bit later in the day, but it probably overall still was like rough. So that's what we've been dealing with over here. But I also grabbed, you can see over here on the left, this little lithograph for Beauty and the Beast. I grabbed that as well too. So I ended up working in negotiation with the Cheech and Chong here. I think this is Chong or Cheech, I don't know which one he used, but I grabbed that as well as a couple Disney lithographs that I'll show you guys a little bit here as well too. We'll have to do a little checkup here because I think we might be going to another flea market after this one. Okay, so there actually was a few more things that I grabbed on the way out of here before we went to the next place. We're gonna do one more little review before we get to the next flea market. But I went to this booth over here. They always, like I said, what? Do you see that? I didn't even see it the first time. What the heck? Did you guys see that in the bottom left there? But they always randomly have just some good toys here, like out of nowhere, random like nostalgic stuff, like mixed in with like clothes and tools and stuff. So I always check it out because it just little gems can be found here. So I looked, and there was a SpongeBob vintage poster on the floor that I completely missed my first walkthrough, but thankfully I caught it on my way out of here. I saw I was trying to grab this freaking Aladdin Disney on Ice thing, all this other weird stuff that wasn't really, you know, worth grabbing, but right here next to this water cooler, boom.
Okay, that is awesome. E equals MC SQUAREPANTS. That is so freaking dope. How much? $10? We take 7?
$8.
8? Do it.
All right, so you see I paid $8 for it. I have become like super obsessed with like old school vintage SpongeBob and Nickelodeon posters. I think they're like so cool because they're getting harder and harder to find. The artwork on them is just so cool looking. It's like really early. The print quality is incredible. And because a lot of people put them on their rooms, like thumbtacks and stuff, they get ripped up. Like you just don't see them very often. So unless they're in frames like this, they're usually pretty beat up. You know, it doesn't take a lot of creases for a poster to not look good. So like the framed ones really are where you find a lot of the good quality images. And like one of my goals is like, you know, as we expand the cavern hopefully in the future, I would love to get one of those like racks, you know, they have it like stores where you can like go through the posters, kind of like one of those, just to kind of be able to appreciate the artwork, like have like a rack of just all vintage posters for Nickelodeon, SpongeBob, stuff like that. So I pick them up whenever I see them because, you know, they're easy to store, you can roll them up, you can keep them flat, either way, but that's a really, really cool one. And then look, I'm posting it on my story. I told you, I've been posting stories on Instagram. Go catch it. Go follow it. Okay, so let's take a look at everything. First off, the SpongeBob poster here. There is no comp images like sold of these because it's really uncommon to find stuff like this. You really could ask your own price. Like somebody could pay $20 for it. Some person might pay $50 for it. I'm just gonna go ahead and say 25 bucks for this guy. Next up here we have the man doll from Cheech and Chong. And this one goes for about 60 bucks. I paid 30 for it. That was one of those situations where I just paid, you know, to buy something from the guy because he always hooks me up with really good deals. Just kind of keep keeping that door open like I always say. So 30 bucks wasn't the best price for it, but still wasn't terrible either. We got the bunny, he goes for about 20, add that on too. We got 3 of these lithographs that all go for about 20 bucks a piece. We have the Beauty and the Beast one. These ones all have their slipcover, which is nice. We have the Fox and the Hound one, and we also have this Aladdin one as well. Honestly, I don't even really know what lithographs are exactly. Like, they're not animation cells. Like, I think it's just the biggest, most like, it was basically just a way for like a fancy name for Disney to sell you a printed piece of paper, essentially. So I don't really know what they are besides, I guess, just like, semi high quality printings. But I guess they should just call it a print rather than a lithograph. But if there's something different about a lithograph, let me know. We have all these books here. I paid $1 a piece on them. I'll probably be selling like these 3, you know, for like $6, and then these 2 right here for like $4 for the 2. It's probably about $2 a piece. So love those. Probably like, I don't know, like $10 right there worth of value. We got this guy right here that sells for about $90 to $100. We're just gonna go ahead and put 90 bucks. The Dance Dance 2 goes for about 50 bucks. The Alice in Wonderland 10 I could not find exactly anywhere online. I'm gonna say probably 10 bucks. The Pikachu backpack, this one is one of those items like I paid probably about what it's worth. It goes for about 30 bucks. I paid 20, but it's not every day you get to find a cool Pikachu backpack like this. So sometimes I'll buy stuff like just like this, and even if I don't make a ton on it, it's just something fun for somebody else to be able to add to their collection on the Whatnot stream, and it gets people interested in the show because there's a huge variety of different types of stuff. The Sloth Jellycat goes for 40 bucks, but then the dog only goes for like 15. So either way, I got them both for $5. So you're looking at about $55 worth of value there for $5. The Finding Nemo big freaking waist. I don't even know why this guy's so cheap, but he goes for about $10. He's so cute. I don't know why he's only $10, but he's still, you know, I love him. The Alpha Moves, these both go for about $20 a piece easy, so about 40 bucks in value there. Brian Griffin, he goes for about 15. He's got some damage there. You can see where the little like line for his tag should be is not there. So I would say just no value on him. The Care Bear sells for about 15 bucks. I paid 10, so it wasn't my best buy, like I said. I'm gonna tell you guys my wins, I'm gonna tell you my mistakes, and I'm gonna tell you what's the opposite of mistakes? My stakes. I'm gonna show you my stakes. I don't know. The SpongeBob CD player goes for about 40 bucks a piece. I have this guy brand new sealed, but it is cool to have one out of box, so I very well may keep this one. I don't know for sure. I might end up selling it, but I think I can get most of the damage, like the markings, I guess, off of it. There's no like serious damage to it. As long as it works, you know, I might consider selling it. And then the Dora TV. So sold comps of the Dora TV with the remote in good shape or about $200. But this one is brand spanking new. And I know it may seem like a huge leap here, but as somebody who buys, collects, and sells a lot of this stuff, people will pay a huge premium on a vintage item that is brand new, especially when it's electronics, because there are so many things that could be internally wrong with something that maybe even if when they ship it, it worked, but then by the time it gets to you, you try it out, you use it for a month or two, it burns out, you know, because the bulb's been being used for all those years. You know, there's XYZ different things that can happen. So people will pay quite a premium on electronics that are new because they know they are the first person using it. Everything in the machine is getting its first usage. So I'm gonna say I think easily the TV is probably worth about $400. It would take some time to sell it, and of course you have to deal with it, you know, possibility of it getting broken, you know, returns, all that stuff. So it was a good deal for him too at $200. And for me, that's a huge deal as well too, because I'm keeping it. Like, it's gonna be in my personal collection, and I would have never gotten a brand spanking new one for that cheap anywhere else. So I wasn't really thinking about like buying it at a profitable price, just buying it at a price that is cheaper than what I would have paid for it anywhere else. So glad to have that, and we can add $400 of value onto our counter so far here. Okay, but now we are gonna go over to another flea market. We did pick up some stuff over there, so let's hop in the car and see what we ended up picking up at the next market. So we just pulled up to the next flea market. Of course, it's the one with the super long walk, so fast forward. Okay, so we got here found our first item right here, which is this Fiona glass here from McDonald's. I typically don't grab these McDonald's glasses just because, you know, they're hard to ship and usually people want way too much for them, but he only wanted $1, so I was like, all right, I'll take the Fiona mug for $1, or I don't know if it's called a mug, it's just a glass, I guess. Pulling up to the next booth here, I found some awesome stuff. I found this Tasmanian Devil little like vortex twister mug here. I believe these were for Universal Studios back in the day, so I found that one, but there's actually a second one right over there. I was just trying to wait to get around this guy, but I didn't want to be rude because he was like looking at stuff, you know, but I was like just kind of taking the time, you know, like passing this around, like eventually he's gonna walk forward, but then he never did, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go this way then. While I was waiting though, I saw this this little like bug thing, this real bug discovery kit, and I was like, are these real bugs? And turned it out, yeah, there are real bugs in there, and they were just like super interesting to look at. Like, I've never seen some of those type of bugs up close like that, so I don't know, I got a little enamored by it, and I was like, man, there's just like 12 living things that were in here at some point. So I was on the phone with my mom, you can see, so sorry, don't be nosy, all right, I'm looking at my phone, but I was, this gotta be worth something, and there's 12 living beings in here. And yeah, it turned out they go for about like $25 plus $15 shipping, so $40 totally. You know, I was like, all right, I may pick it up. And then I also noticed some other ones as well too, some like other sets that came with different insects inside of them, like praying mantis and stuff. And I just thought the whole thing was just like cool, so I picked up those guys. This guy was giving me a bag, and it's like the biggest bag on earth. So I was like, part of me was like, oh, I already have like bags in my cart, maybe I should just put it in that. But he had already put so much time and effort into bringing the bags out, I was just kind of like, I'm just gonna take him up on this. But that is the biggest bag I've ever seen, like ever, for like 4 things. So I was just, he didn't even get all the way open. I was just like, all right, thanks. And then everything poured out. All this big bag, and there was a hole in it. There's a big bag with a hole in it. I was like, how can you be this big and have a hole? So I just told him, you know, it's okay, I'll come back for it later. I had to go to the ATM anyway, but big shout out to him for trying his best with the bags he had. So he picked that stuff up after I had to go to the ATM, I paid for it, and then I saw all these DVDs over here, and man, did we find some absolute bangers over here. We found so many DVDs in this section. I wanted to look over here in like the toys first. I don't know why, I put so much effort into trying to get past this guy, because he really wasn't trying to move out my way at all. And you know, there was nothing over here, so I had to just do the same thing to get back. But over there in the DVDs, we found some absolute fire. Oh wait, I did pick up this guy. I picked up this Grumpy Bear actually with the duck costume on. That was actually pretty cute. So while I was over there, I started looking at all the DVDs, and you know, I began talking to myself in front of all these people as I usually do, and you guys will see me picking up a bunch of DVDs. And I think we also ran into, I know for sure we ran into a subscriber as well too, a super cool kid. Shout out to him. You'll see him probably in this clip as well.
I notice whenever I find these type of CDs or DVDs, if they have these early like green and white label, green label ones, they usually don't have like some of the newer ones, which are actually the more like uncommon ones. Like all the ones they have are older, so that means probably that was like, you know, when they were growing up with it. They're not bad though, they're in good shape, it's just these ones are more common. Monster in Mexico. We also have the Hey Arnold movie sealed, which I have this, but still you don't see that sealed every day. Ooh, I stand corrected. There's actually 2 older, newer ones here. Oh, with the insert, man, you never see this. What the frick is that? The grand prize plush? I'm 90% sure that plush doesn't exist. It's like the most unlicensed plush I've ever seen, but apparently it was a prize from this. With the magic bubble wand reader? This is all new to me. What the heck? Find SpongeBob.com and you use this magic wand reader. Here's some of the items you could have won too. Look, this is Globs of Doom, and it's like an early cover of the game, because this is not even the final cover of the game. It just says Globs of Doom and just has SpongeBob in the Nicktoons. Like, it's this most like beta starting cover. And then this plush too. Like, I'm pretty sure, I think I know what this plush is, but I think for this photo they used like a sample plush for it. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get that one for sure. Just for that one to be my personal copy. And then Pest of the West does not have the inserts. That one's in good shape though too. Oh, Lost in Time has the insert too. Are you kidding me? Like, once you've been collecting for as long as I have, and like you have so many of the DVDs, like this is more valuable than anything. Like, I would buy just this. That's awesome. Okay, there we go. Doesn't that look like a whole lot of fun? Look at all those colors.
So we actually got an insane stack. Like, look at that. Look at those colors. Ah, I love that. That is so us right there. Like, look at all that color. We got a nice stack of SpongeBob DVDs there. You know, I would have loved to have found some other Nickelodeon stuff, some Cartoon Network stuff, but heck, man, like, I'll still take it. You don't find that many SpongeBob DVDs in one spot typically these days. So, wow, what a grab. He also had a PS2 Slim over in the front too, and I was just curious what he was asking for it because they go for about $100 and he was asking 55. It was missing the power cord, but he said it works. I don't know how you could test it without the power cord, but maybe he has a power cord. I don't know. So I just was like, screw it. I just winging it, you know. So I paid him for that as well too. So I paid him $55 for the PS2 as well as all those discs. Okay, so now it's beginning to rain, actually. So, you know, I'm starting to move a little bit quicker because people are going to start taking stuff in and trying to probably, you know, pack up for the day because it's already a little later in the day. It's raining. I want to make sure that I can get everything while I can. But the good thing about the rain is while they're trying to get everything moving, usually the prices are pretty low. That's something I've learned on rainy days. So I was like, okay, well, now is like, you know, the rain instantly becomes a 25% off sale until it stops. So I was like, okay, let's see what we got here. So I came over to this booth over here. And you can see, you know, they're trying to rush around. You'll start seeing them start to rush around to, like, you know, make sure they cover everything. I bought this Nezuko sign here. It's made out of like acrylic. I mostly got it so I could put it over my cart as like a little rain shelter. But, you know, I figured at the same time it's actually kind of sick. So I just grabbed it. They only wanted $5 for it. I did look at some of the Funko Pops and stuff, but they were all getting rained on, so I just didn't trust it. So I did grab these sodas though. They had 2 sodas here for the Fun Days events they have at SDCC. I grabbed those 2 Funko sodas. Also found these Mario string lights, you know, those like Christmas style ones. And this lady typically has, you know, higher-ish prices, but she only wanted $20 for everything. Like I said, it's that rainy day deal. You know, they're starting to put stuff on stuff to cover it up. You know, like, you just got to get in there quick because it's helping them out moving the stuff out the rain, too. And it's harder to sell stuff when it's wet.
See, that was it's a raining price because that would not have been $20 typically. Typically, she's a little bit, you know, prices are a little bit more up there. So that was definitely like, oh, it's raining. Good thing you guys are waterproof. What's up, man?
What's up, Marcus?
How you doing, dude?
I'm good, bro. Except for this damn rain.
I know, it just came out of nowhere, too.
I was at Veterans last week, dude. All my stuff got wet.
I've heard that from a lot of people, man.
Yeah, it was such a bummer, dude.
That sucks. How much you want for this guy?
$5.
$5? Take him.
Yeah.
And then I also ran into some friends here. You'll see they were showing me some of the stuff that they found. Again, they kind of look for similar type of stuff. So they found some Care Bears. That Perry the Platypus is so cool because you can actually convert it from Agent P back to Perry. Super, super cool find there. I think that little like light up bug is from like a Disney on Ice type of show or something. It might be like exclusive to it. So very cool stuff they were showing me there. But I stayed there to talk to everybody for a few minutes. Just kind of talking about everything going on, the rain, you know, Californians, where it rains, we gotta talk about it. You know, I'm one of them too. So we all like to talk about the rain when it happens. So moving on to the next booth here. Saw this Pac-Man here. A lot of these plug and plays do pretty well too. This is actually a new plug and play. It's by Arcade 1UP. They've kind of brought back the plug and plays. So this is one of their machines here. So I grabbed that guy. And then while looking around, I actually think I spotted some more stuff. I spotted the Team Umizoomi, which is also a Nick Jr. show, but they were also, like I said, from the rain, they were kind of gross. So I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to clean these up. He also had these 2 lift lights. Those lift lights, they're like for the drivers to put on their dashboards. They sell for like $50 a piece. I find them all the time over here, so I always grab them when I do for like $5-10. So I grabbed those, and I also grabbed these 2 mini arcade machines as well. I mean, those lift little lights will probably pay for everything, so huge win there with those. Picked up everything there, I think, for like $30 or $40. Okay, so I was filming here trying to get something for a thumbnail, like a background shot, but then I got distracted because I saw this Boo light, and I collect, like, I don't collect Nintendo stuff overall. I just specifically collect Boo, like just the character Boo from Mario, because I love ghost type Pokemon. I love Ghost in general. I love, that's my favorite types of movies, or like Poltergeist type like flicks, you know. So I love Boo too. He's just a cute little ghost character. So I grabbed this one. It's a light that actually like is a sensor on it. So when the lights turn off, he turns on. When the lights are on, he turns off. So I was like, that's just for me. This is not for resale. I just got it for $10. Very, very cool, and really happy to add him. Okay, and then our last booth here I came by. You guys may recognize this one. I always pick up a bunch of plushies from this booth, so let's take a look and see what they had today. They were saving some stuff for me. You guys remember I did trade some Dora stuff to them in a previous video. Today they had saved some SpongeBob stuff for me to pick up from them, so I was super interested in seeing what they had. So you can see they have a bag over there with some SpongeBob stuff. The Psyduck I also picked up as well too. I picked up a few things, but you guys will see exactly what I ended up grabbing right here.
10 for these 2.
Perfect. Thank
And
you.
then 15 for that.
Okay.
I was gonna say 20, but 15.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
But that was everything we picked up. I mean, it was a light, I guess, I don't know. I would say, like, if it wasn't for the Dora TV that just made this a huge freaking deal, like, everything else was a pretty light day, you know, an awesome day nonetheless. But I think the Dora item was the one that kind of sent things over the top. Okay, so the SpongeBob Life here, it has basically everything in it. There is like some mild staining, like on the pieces itself. You can see there's like some yellowing on there. I'm not really sure what that's from exactly, but I might be able to clean it off. So until I can for sure say I can clean it off or not, just for right now, I'm gonna say zero value. But after I clean it, you know, it probably about a $20, $25 game. These insects all together, I think is like 30. They have a silkworm in here. This one's got butterflies in there. Like, I would never be the person to do this because like I would feel guilty putting them in this like acrylic, you know, like I could never collect these, but like having them for a short amount of time, appreciating them, looking at them, like it's very interesting, and then I could sell them, you know what I mean? But like this is just, it wouldn't be me to collect them because I just feel kind of bad for them being in there, but nonetheless they already are and I have them, so I will appreciate their visual stature. Yeah, I don't know how else to say it. It's like, how do they even get these bugs? Do they like breed them just to put them in this thing, or like what? Like, how do they even, like, how? Mario string lights go for about 20 bucks. All of my DVDs on our Whatnot stream we sell for around, we usually start them off at $5. Some can go for a little bit more than that depending on what they are, but we start them off at about $5 because usually I'm paying like $2 to $3 for them. So first one off here we got was the Tales of Swellow. That's just Swell, or It's Just Swell, brand new sealed for Pokemon. I got this one, which I might actually keep for myself. This is actually a collection of Christmas classics here. It's got some of the most iconic of those, like, you know, stop motion style movies. Also comes with a holiday CD in there too. We have Tom and Jerry Shiver Me Whiskers, my bad. We have Who Bob What Pants, which this one I have to take out the inserts because this is what I really wanted from these. And then we have the Pest of the West. We have the Halloween. We have Schools Out, the musical. We have Hey Arnold. Nick Picks Volume 4. I cannot believe that we found that. Mexico, Monster of Mexico. And then also we got Scooby-Doo in Volume 2. So what a freaking stack of media there. Big ones being Nick Picks Volume 4, the sealed Pokemon, and the inserts, baby. And that wasn't even all of them. We also got Lost at Sea, Tides of the Deep, Lost in Time, Tales of the Deep, and also SpongeBob Goes Prehistoric. That's like a whole collection right there, literally. Also, I didn't see the footage for this one, but I also grabbed this SpongeBob CD case, which I believe is missing the like cover art and stuff, but I don't have this case that I can think of. I feel like it could just be the SpongeBob soundtrack, but for some reason I just don't recognize it, so I bought it just in case. It was only $1. Then I also got the Shrek glass here for Fiona. We got the 2 lift lights. These go for about 50 bucks each. We got the 2 Tasmanian Devil drink cups from Six Flags. They go for about 10 bucks a piece. We got this Psyduck as well as another Psyduck that kind of rolled away from here, but you guys saw me pick him up. That one goes for about $30. This one I could not find. I'm actually not even 100% sure this one is licensed, but either way, still a good deal. So 30 bucks. These 2 like Funko sodas here, they only go for 10 bucks each, but they seem like they were relatively exclusive for convention exclusives, but I don't know. They're only 10 bucks each though. This little Care Bear actually goes for 17 bucks. The PlayStation here with all the controller, the cords, Battlefront 2 goes for about 100 bucks. A little bit more than that if you include Battlefront 2 goes for about $15. So, you know, altogether probably about 115, but we'll just say 100 bucks. These 2 arcades go for about 25 bucks a piece, so about 50 bucks there together. This one goes for about 30, so another 30 bucks there. And then last but not least, we have this Nicktoons, sorry, not Nicktoons, Toon Disney. That'd be even cooler if it was Nicktoons, but Toon Disney water bottle for Direct TV. These guys go for about 10 bucks, but I mean, that's just freaking cool for the display to actually use. I mean, it's just a really unique and fun item, so awesome pickup there. But that is everything. You guys let me know what you think of the haul and what was your favorite pickup today. I already know my favorite, but you tell me yours. If you guys want to support the show further, the greatest way to do that is by considering becoming a member here on YouTube or becoming a member of our Patreon. You can hit that join button here on YouTube or go to our Patreon in the description down below. You can sign up for as little as $2 or $3 a month, and you, 1, get to help a small business continue to grow, but 2, help us get more freedom away from the YouTube algorithm, being able to create this content for you guys and be able to do bigger and better things. So thank thank you so much to our already existing Patreon and YouTube members. Appreciate you guys so very much. You guys are the reasons why we're able to do the things that we do, so thank you so much yet again. Plus, you can also pick up almost anything you see here, except for the stuff that I specifically stated I'm keeping in my collection, you will be able to find on my Whatnot stream. Go take a look at both those platforms. When you sign up to Whatnot, you get 15 bucks for free, and you can also enter in on the giveaways that I do every single week. So come check it out. All that info is down below. I will see you guys over here in this video that I know you're gonna love. And as always, Rep Pack, I'll see you beautiful people in the next one. Adios and bloop.